Morning, all. Okay, so we are here to talk about today's games. We got 7 because Mondays are now going to be busy days. There was a time last year where Mondays were usually the day where there's like one game. Sometimes there wasn't any. This year we have the compact schedule, and that's not a thing. I've also changed the preview board, so now I'm using one of the regular size boards for the previews because the big board I don't really need it. There were all these ideas I had with both the previews and the power rankings that I needed a big board for, but with the teams just playing in their own divisions, I don't really need it. So don't be surprised when the power rankings is on a regular size board next week too. Set that all up yesterday. So it's starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. We've got 2 games starting, including the 13-6-1 Carolina Hurricanes, these guys right here, in against the 13-4-3 Florida Panthers. These teams have both won once. It means they got 6 games left, including the one tonight, which should make this series remarkable. These teams are 2 of the most exciting to watch in the entire National Hockey League. Trocheck, notable for Carolina because he played in Florida. 10 goals and 7 assists for him so far this season. Svechnikov, 7 goals, 10 assists. He's fantastic in every game that he's in. On the Florida side, Hornqvist continues to make himself seem 10 years younger. 9 goals, 9 assists. Playing with Huberdeau and Barkov will do that, though. Somewhere Dadonov is nodding and going, yeah, really helps playing with those guys. Hornqvist has been a perfect fit. He just knows exactly where to stand, right in front of the net. That's his favorite place, and the pucks will go in. Duclair, 2 goals and 8 assists, not scoring goals at the rate that he should be. And I'm saying should be because he's had the opportunities. So those are going to start going in too. Should be a great game. 7 o'clock Eastern as well. Calgary for their 3rd straight game in against the Ottawa Senators. Calgary 10-10-2. The Senators 7-15-2 out of 2 games. Both teams have won once. High scoring affairs. Monahan, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points. I probably expect a little bit more out of Monahan goal-wise, but the points are there. Giordano, 2 goals and 9 assists. He had a slow start, as I remember it. It's been better lately, but their blue line is good. In a division where everybody wants to talk about how there is no defense, there is. I think we overstate it. I think we overstate any kind of weakness with the North Division. On the Ottawa side, Norris, 4 goals, 8 assists in the midst of a very good rookie season. And White, 5 goals and 5 assists. He's honestly been playing pretty darn well lately. And not necessarily living up to that contract yet, but he's playing better this year than last year. Then an hour later at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, we'll get Vancouver and Winnipeg going. Vancouver, 8-14-2. They've beaten Winnipeg once. That was in Winnipeg. Winnipeg's beaten Vancouver twice, both of those games in Vancouver. So nobody at home has won yet. Winnipeg, 13-6-1. Playing very, very well. We will see tonight whether or not they can be the first home team to win in this series. So for Vancouver, Brock Besser, 12 goals, 10 assists. He's been excellent for a team that hasn't had a lot of excellence in its roster. Quinn Hughes, 2 goals, 19 assists. The offense has started to slow down with Hughes, but it feels like the plus-minus isn't going up like it was, and in the wrong direction. Like he's not getting a bunch of minuses, so I'm not sure how to read it with Hughes right now. Stastny, 4 goals and 7 assists for Winnipeg. Now that Dubois has been planted on the wing, Stastny's still in the middle, and Dubois in 10 games. So far this season, 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points. He's been excellent for Winnipeg recently. And that trade that everybody gave the win to Columbus immediately, maybe Winnipeg did pretty well on that one after all. We'll see. It's still way too early, but it's still fun to declare winners and losers in trades. And then 2 hours later, 3 games get started. 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. The 16-4-2 Toronto Maple Leafs, who have won 3 out of 5 in this matchup so far this year, in against the Oilers. So of the 9 losses for the Oilers, 3 of them have been against Toronto. And we'll see how it goes tonight. The 14-9 Oilers will be looking to bounce back. A rare shutout loss for them. Nylander, 8 goals, 9 assists. He's turned around from what was a slow patch there. He's just hot and cold. That's just how that works. You got to roll with it. Spezza, 5 goals, 7 assists. His production's been very good, considering he wasn't expected to do a lot. On the Edmonton side, Cahoon, 4 goals, 4 assists for him. Not what was expected, but still reasonable. And Puljujarvi, 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. showing what an amazing difference a year in Europe will make for a player's career. And for expectations, I think it brought the expectations down so that it's not as difficult for him. He's not expected to be this superstar player, just decent top six forward, and he's been that. And so we'll see whether or not it's Matthews versus McDavid, or it's the Leafs versus the Oilers tonight, because McDavid, of course, missed the last game. And they were being all cloak and dagger about it yesterday, too. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific, we get Minnesota, the hottest team in the league, in against Vegas, one of the best teams in the league. So now we get to see whether or not Minnesota's actually that good, or they've benefited from having a bit of a softer schedule. So Minnesota 12-6 against the 12-4-1 Vegas Golden Knights. This is the first meeting. What this means is that over 8 games, Minnesota can dramatically affect Vegas. Vegas can effectively dramatically destroy Minnesota on some level. We'll see, because honestly, I think Minnesota's playing very, very well. I acknowledge they haven't necessarily been against top teams, but we'll see what they do against Vegas. There's Minnesota fans right now yelling about a 6-2 win over Colorado. How long ago was that? Anyways, all right, on the Minnesota front, Eriksson Ek, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points for Eriksson Ek. Hartman, 3 goals and 6 assists. Hartman has been on an amazing run wall down the middle. And if you're watching this game, watch the line of Kaprizov, Rask, and Zuccarello. It's fantastic. On the Vegas front, Karlsson seems to be heating up. He had a couple goals the last game. He has 5 goals and 9 assists. Marchessault, 6 goals, 7 assists. Always a dangerous forward for the Vegas Golden Knights. And for Vegas and Minnesota, yeah, this is really interesting, because, of course, if Minnesota wins this, then we can legit say, okay, they are top tier. That win over Colorado, as impressive as that was, now they've got a win over the Vegas Golden Knights as well. They could really start turning some heads. And how good is Kaprizov if he plays a major role in that, right? So we'll see. But that could end up being game of the night. St. Louis is in against Anaheim, also starting at 10 Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. St. Louis has to avoid the dreaded trap game, but the thing is, for St. Louis right now, every game should feel very, very important for them. They're 11-8-2. Anaheim 6-10-5. To me, Anaheim is the team that's at the bottom of power rankings. I look at other power rankings, most have them at 24th, 25th. For me, it's just they don't score, and there doesn't seem to be any danger in their games that's being generated from them in a positive manner. But maybe that changes. Maybe Zegras can help kick that into gear. Braden Shen, 10 goals, 7 assists for the Blues. O'Reilly, 7 goals, 12 assists for the Blues as well. O'Reilly, pretty good season that he's having. Shen, good start. He kept that up. St. Louis has won both meetings with Anaheim this year. Anaheim, Raquel finally got a goal last game. Is he going to get hot? Is this the time? Is it finally going to happen? 2 goals, 7 assists for him so far this year. And Lundestrom, who was kind of snake bit last game, he has 2 goals so far this year. We'll see if he gets on the board. And then a half an hour later, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. So like I said, things get busy later in the night rather than earlier, which is weird for hockey, which means a lot of people on the East Coast probably just going to say, I'm going to bed, rather than stay up to watch all this. Colorado's won both meetings with San Jose so far this year. Colorado 11-6-1 so far. The San Jose Sharks 7-9-2, and coming back home hasn't really turned the season around. If anything, it feels like some of those struggles have kind of gotten worse. We'll see how they come out after that 7-6 loss against St. Louis, and if they have a 1-0 shutout in them after that, because that was rough. So I would expect a good defensive game from them tonight against one of the best offensive teams in the division. Donskoy, 6 goals, 6 assists. We'll see how he does against his former team. Rantanen, he scored a goal recently. Can he get on another hot streak? He's very streaky this year. 8 goals, 10 assists for Rantanen. Evander Kane, 7 goals, 8 assists. We'll see if he can get on the board. And when Kane's on the board, is it because of a goal? Is it because of a penalty? Is it because of both? And LeBanc, 3 goals, 8 assists for one of my favorite members of the Sharks, who isn't scoring at the rate that you might want to see if you're a Sharks fan. So there you go. 7 games tonight. Let me know your winners in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.